നമസ്കാരം. എൻ്റെ ഒപ്പം എന്നുള്ളത് സദ്ഗുരു ആണ്. അപ്പം അദ്ദേഹം എടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഏറ്റവും വലിയൊരു ഇനീഷ്യേറ്റീവാണ് സേവ് സോയിൽ എന്നുള്ളത്. അപ്പം 100 ദിവസം 30,000 കിലോമീറ്റേഴ്സ് അദ്ദേഹം ഒരു ബൈക്ക് റൈഡ് ചെയ്ത് 27 കൺട്രീസാണ്, രാജ്യങ്ങളാണ് കവർ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചും ബാക്കിയുള്ള വിശേഷങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് സദ്ഗുരുവിനോട് ചോദിച്ചറിയാം. നമസ്കാരം ഗുരുജി. I really don't think I've been so excited and scared and nervous at the same time ever in my life. And this is, I think, one of the most precious moments in life that I've. Thank you for giving us your time together. How has the trip to Dubai been as part of Save Soil?
Dubai, the response has been spectacular from the people, as you saw.
Right.
The government also has been very positively responsive. And we have signed an MOU with UAE for collaboration with the Climate Change Ministry.
Right.
And Madam Mariam, very passionate about the cause. So we will take this ahead here. UAE could in many ways take leadership in ecological affairs for this region, for Arabia. It has the necessary fundamentals and it has the necessary vision and passion towards it. So right now UAE or Dubai is a massive airline hub, it's a shopping hub, it is tourism hub it's becoming. It can also become an ecological hub. I think they are very keen on taking it in this direction. With such a committed leadership, I'm very confident that it should move that way.
So I definitely have a lot of questions, but of course we'll stick to Save Soil first. Soil, as we know, is our existence. The body is made of soil and Mother Earth. We've been learning about soil since our school, but then we forget. You were mentioning yesterday that you've been talking about soil for the past 30 years. But even now, we have to talk about it, we have to spread the awareness. So how important it is to spread this awareness and to talk about soil in 2022?
In 2022, if you don't do it, in 2042, you will be screaming, not as a movement, but out of pain. Or our children will be screaming in the next few years after that. So, we have reached a point, if we don't act now, we will regret it, seriously.
You were mentioning yesterday that, not even one country has this minimum organic content of 3%. So what should countries do to improve this organic content?
As I've said repeatedly, there are only two sources of organic content, plant life and animal life. Plant life and animal life has to come back on the farms. You can't run agricultural farms without plant life and animal life. This monoculture, simply growing and taking it out of the land as if it's an endless resource, it's not an endless resource.
Guruji, of course, we all need to talk about soil, and the thing is that beyond an age, beyond say 30 years or 40 years of age, people have their fixed beliefs and it's a little difficult to change them. But kids, we can still mold them and they can become more responsible towards the resources. So how do we inculcate this habit in them?
This talk I'm hearing everywhere, that let us activate the children. Where is the inspiration for the children when the adults don't act? You don't have to activate them. If you act responsibly, they will be inspired to do that too. So this is one generation trying to pass the buck to the next generation. Let them do it, it's their future. No, 2040 is not your children's future, it's also your future. You're not gone in by 2040. Most of the people who are living here will be still there, all right? So your old age could be great misery. Once food shortages come, the world will not be worth living in. It'll be simply not worth living in. So either we can handle it consciously or nature will do it to us in a very cruel way. So I'm just saying, let's avoid that. Being human, let us respond consciously to this and turn this around. So whatever age you are, can you not understand that if there are food shortages, there will be serious consequences for everybody? The question is not that you don't have food to eat, there is no food in the marketplace. That's a different scene. Right now, there are poor people who don't have money to buy their food. That's a different situation. We can help them. But there is no food in the marketplace.
To even buy,
If you have all the money in the world, there is no food, then what do you do?
What do I do as an individual?
There are three things you can do. Raise your voice and raise your voice. because we do not understand that human societies function like this. First you have to make them think in a particular direction, then they will get a little emotional about it, then only their hands will work. So right now, without government policies, without enshrining it in the policy that keeping soils alive, regenerating soil is a part of our fundamental responsibility, without coming into the policy, you do something, I do something is not good enough, it's not a solution. Solution is only large scale, only when government policy asks for it. So if that has to happen, people have to give a mandate for the government. That mandate is what I'm asking. Mandate is not just by vote, by voice we can express our mandate. This is the time for adult population on the planet. Don't talk about children, because till they are 15 years of age, as far as I'm concerned, they must grow up without a care or a concern. They must eat well, play well, sleep well, learn well, that's it. They need not be concerned about their future well-being and be worried about it now.
We know that Dubai is a place where around 200 nationalities live in harmony, we eat together, we're there with each other, we work together. But then on the other part of the world, there is so much of intolerance. There is almost a war happening among two countries. So what is it that makes…
Not almost a war, there is a war.
There is a war, yeah. So what do you think makes UAE and in particular Dubai so special that people live here?
Wisely managed, that's all I would say. It could be done everywhere.
All right. And if you take a look at Dubai, they have a very clear vision. It's led by visionaries. They know what the country is going to be 50 years down the line. How important is it on an individual level to have a vision? I think I'm someone who lacks vision in life. So should we just go with the flow, or should we have a clear vision?
See, their vision is for what they can build and what it can be and that kind of stuff. So building something without a vision, you're not going to build it. Otherwise you'll end up building ad hoc, which will not serve any great purpose. In individual life, do you need vision? Yes, if you want to create something. If you want to just live, which is okay for a lot of people, they just want to live. No vision is needed. The only vision should be that you don't surrender the joy and blissfulness that you had as a child, at least that much. Pleasantness of life. If you also strive for profoundness, it'll be wonderful, but at least stay pleasant. The minimum is at least you're peaceful and joyful, at least that much. If you cannot even be that much, you're a nuisance to yourself and to everybody.
You were mentioning yesterday that, when the body is pleasant, that is health. I'm an Ayurvedic doctor, so in Ayurveda they say when the doshas, the Agni, everything is doing its function properly, when the body, mind and the soul are pleasant is when what is health. So what is your comment on that?
I don't… See, I'm not a scriptural person. I'm saying, by your experience, when does your body feel pleasant?
When it's at peace.
Huh?
When it's at peace.
Peace? Or is it violent right now?
No, I mean when the mind is at peace.
That is different. We're talking about the body. Your body feels pleasant when the body chemistry is happening smoothly, right? If your body chemistry is happening smoothly, first it creates health. If it becomes more, far more harmonious, it'll create a very sense of pleasure and blissfulness. Even if you sit here, the pleasure of sitting here. People think pleasure means they have to drink or they have to be in sexual activity or something else. No, the pleasure of just sitting here, the pleasure of being alive, there's no greater pleasure than that, if you're aware of it. Otherwise, you're here, you're a psychological case continuously, you're going on, you don't have the pleasure of being alive, which is the greatest thing you have. Nothing is greater than that you're alive.
I think one more question I'll ask on behalf of all the parents listening to us right now. So I came across a post on Facebook wherein a mother had written that, I don't know how to take care of my child, can you please tell me what to do? My son is reluctant, he doesn't listen to me. And in fact, recently we had an incident, several incidents where children, once they are scolded by their parents, they take very drastic steps. So parents don't know how to manage their children, it's a concern that they're facing. What do they really do?
See, what I say may sound cruel to them right now, but they must contemplate on this. Before you bring another life into this world, you must sort yourself out a little bit, isn't it? At least you must know how to be. If you know how to be, you will be naturally joyful and peaceful. If you at least do that before having a child, because a child is an immense responsibility. It's not just about reproduction, you're not another creature that you can just reproduce and just leave them. Because a human being, a human child comes unformed, they have to be formed. It's not like other creatures, they drop out of their mother's wombs and they start running. Human child comes 90% unformed. So when you are having a baby which comes unformed, if you do not understand, it's a 18-20 year project. Without that much attention, you cannot do it. Are you capable of giving that attention? Are you willing to give that attention? I leave that right to an individual woman. Is she willing to dedicate that much of her life? What does she want to do with herself? But once you have a child, it's a 20-year project. That is if they do well. If they don't do well, it's a lifelong project. So, before having a child, one must consider there is no need. We are coming from another time, a psyche of another time, every woman must have a child, otherwise something is wrong with her. Nothing like that, everybody can choose whether they want to have or not, because we are not an endangered species.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Such a pleasure getting to talk to you. Thank you.